Houston police have some explaining to do. I used to be an Uber driver. Not really, but really. I drove for a short period of time, probably a week or two, maybe, and decided that it wasn't for me. This was actually a long time ago when Uber was really popular, when it was just popping off. So I didn't like the fact that people would get into your vehicle, slam your doors, people would throw up in your vehicle because they might be drunk, people would ask for a ride from one bar to the next bar, which is literally one block down because they didn't want to walk. There were a lot of things that I didn't like about the Uber business. So I quit shortly and never went back, never will. But you know what they say never. But that's something I'm not looking to ever do again. This Uber driver here needs an explanation from the Houston police because they actually used his vehicle in order to catch a runaway criminal. A criminal on the run, literally. A criminal running on foot. They hopped in this man's vehicle and told him to go that way. And him being an ex-military man sprung into action. He actually started following the man, and I believe he helped them apprehend the suspect. So we commend him for that. He did his good deed for the year or the decade. But either way, I'm pretty sure he didn't want to do it because now he's involved in something dangerous that could cost him his life. Leave a comment in the comment section and let me know what you would have done if you were an Uber driver or just driving your vehicle around the block and a police officer jumps into your vehicle and tells you to go that way, chasing a suspect down and apprehending him.
Meanwhile, here at home, imagine being an Uber driver and pulling up to pick up your next passenger, but instead an HPD officer hops in and tells you to go after a suspect on the run. Well, that's exactly what happened to one Houston driver earlier this month. 𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏 is here in the studio with a story you just have to see to believe.
Yeah, Jade, it honestly looked straight out of a Hollywood movie. And in case you haven't seen the video yet, here it is for you. Uber driver Anthony Baines was out working his shift when an HPD officer chasing a suspect ran right in front of his car, hopped into the passenger seat and told him to follow the guy. Baines happens to be an 8-year Army Iraq veteran, so he says his military background kicked right in and helped.
Wait a minute, ladies and ladies. I thought it was a male officer and a female officer that did this, but it seems to be two female officers. Ladies, y'all are supposed to be chasing this man down. Does this question the difference between female and male officers? Because I've never seen a male officer do this, unless they have and we just don't know about it. But ladies, y'all were supposed to chase this man down on foot. You actually put this man's life in danger because let's say the suspect had a firearm and started firing into the vehicle. Guess what? You are being paid to chase down suspects and put your life on the line. This man is only being paid to drop off passengers.
Him stay calm, but he admitted the whole thing left him wondering about his rights.
I had no idea what were my rights or what I can or can't do, and I think it may be beneficial for somebody, obviously a rare situation, but for anybody that may end up in a situation like that where they're being called for help, they could just kind of know their rights.
As good as a story he now has to tell, his concerns, they're valid. So we took those questions straight to the Houston Police Officers Union President, Doug Griffith, to find out if a driver is actually required to help out.
It used to be law that if someone, an officer asked you to help, that you were kind of forced to. We don't have that law in place anymore. So it's now at your discretion whether you want to help the officer or not. If he was
Now, how many people actually know this law? How many people actually know that they do not have to help a police officer apprehend a criminal if they do not want to? Now, I did hear or I knew about this, the law back in the day, years ago, that you had to help an officer whenever they directed you to help them apprehend the suspect. But since we don't have that law anymore, especially down in Houston, Texas, this Army veteran did not actually have to help them. So he did. But did he know that he didn't have to? A lot of people actually don't know this. I promise you. Most of you, the viewer, probably don't know this either. So if an officer comes up to you or jumps in your vehicle and says, I need you to chase this suspect down, you have to remember that you actually do not have to if you fear for your life, especially if you feel like your life will be placed in danger.
Said, no, you need to get out of my car. Officer has no other choice but to get out of the car. We're just appreciative that he decided to help out.
Now, Griffith added that officers greatly appreciated Baines stepping up, especially since they were chasing what he called the fastest kid alive. And you can tell in the video, the officers were pretty winded. Now, as for the suspect who started the chase after allegedly making terroristic threats at a nearby apartment pool, police confirm he got away that night, and we're not sure if he's been caught yet.
So this man actually got away. The kid got away. Y'all didn't even catch him that night. So you didn't put this man's life in danger, but you did put this man's life in danger, because who knows if y'all would have caught up to this teen. And if he's making terroristic threats, who knows what kind of weapon or what he could have had in his hand. So you did place this man's life in jeopardy. And I also wanted to point out the fact that there are officers out there that are out of shape. Let me repeat that for you. There are officers out there that are out of shape, and we know this. I see them on a regular basis. So you mean to tell me that you are on the police force and they don't make you work out? That should be mandatory. In order for you to remain on the police force, you should work out. You should eat right. That's another thing that should be mandatory. But guess what? I guarantee you they don't care, and they do not monitor what you eat. This is the reason why you will have officers that are out of shape and can't chase down a suspect. Even though if he's fast, you should still be able to keep up with him. But they can't, because they are out of shape, and they jump or hop into an Uber driver's vehicle and asks this man to hunt them down. Now, of course, y'all know that we have this interview with this man who
saw the video. It was about
with this man who vehicle they jumped into. They finally spoke to him. We just spoke to someone from the Houston police, or the news did. They spoke to that person, and they told us that it's not a law for you to help the officers when they ask you to, so you don't have to. Now let's find out exactly what the Uber driver was thinking.
90 seconds. So you see a person running, there's a cop running right after this person, and then another cop hops into your car. So from that moment until like right after the cops left your car, like what was going through your mind the whole time?
I was just really in shock about what was.
Hey, I was expecting to see the suspect run back in this direction and the cop chase him in this direction. Basically, having them chase him back and forth and they can't catch him.
Taking place. This is something that, you know, I kind of think about only happen in like action movies, where somebody's pursuing a person and they call for a civilian to help. So I just thought it was surreal, to be honest. Like, it was just like kind of like, it didn't feel real, to be honest. I just was in the heat of the moment running off of adrenaline.
So, funny enough, you were talking about how it felt like an action movie to you. I'm imagining myself in your shoes, and if a cop got into my car and just going, go, 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 like in my mind, it is an action movie. I'd be like, you know, pedal to the metal, wherever we gotta go, we're going. So it seemed like you were able to keep your cool though. So how are you able to like maintain your stress?
In that situation, I think I just kind of just relied on my time in the Army. In the military, I am an Iraq veteran, so I've been in a very stressful environment before, where I had to just kind of focus on what was at hand. And at that moment, I just knew that the cops needed me and was just going to do whatever they told me to do. So I believe that was the only thing that allowed me to stay focused and stay calm in that situation. Otherwise, I think I would have been having a panic attack.
See, I couldn't be the chief of police at all. I could not be the lawmaker. I could not be the one making the laws. I could not be the one running the police force. Of course not. The chief in command, of course not. Why? Because once again, I would set these standards for all officers to abide by. You must be in great shape, because it helps you apprehend suspects where you don't have to jump into a vehicle. I'm trying to figure out when they picked up the second officer. Were both officers chasing this man and he picked one up, the one that was in the rear, and then he drove up and picked the other one up, and then they both said he went that way. What is going on with this? Y'all should definitely be in better shape than this. Just like in the movies, right? When you see the officers chasing the suspects down and the officers are hopping over fences, going through the neighborhoods, jumping over houses. No, not jumping over houses, but y'all know what I'm saying. Be in great shape. You have to be. And we understand that officers also have equipment on them, from the vest to their tasers to their walkie-talkies to their firearms and everything else, of batons, everything else under the sun. We get it. This is the reason, again, ladies and gentlemen, they should be in great shape. I don't care what age you are, you should be working out daily. You should be eating right daily on a regular basis. Now, as a police chief, are you able to set these standards? I'm pretty sure you can, because it's your department. So why not?
Understood. Thank you for your service. Can I ask how long you served?
I served 8 years in the Army.
8 years in the Army. Thank you. So what was the rest of the night like for you? Because I know it's not every day where a cop tells you to, just hops in the car and drives everywhere. Did that impact the rest of the night for you?
Yeah, I obviously had that on my mind, as far as just the fact that I was in the process of picking up a rider when the officers got in my vehicle. So I had about 1 block to go to pick up the passenger. And with the suspect that the cops were pursuing still being at large, I was very concerned when I was just a block away from where the incident took place, sitting, waiting for a rider to get in my vehicle. So I was very stressed out, very paranoid, and just was very, very scared, to be honest.
Yeah, understood. Were you still able to pick up that passenger, or did you have to pick up a new ride?
I was able to pick up that passenger. The passenger surprisingly was patient enough to wait.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because he probably heard about you chasing down a suspect. And it's crazy that he was actually about to pick somebody up and had a call when these officers jumped in his vehicle. But again, y'all have to remember what the law is, or what the law states. You do not have to help officers if they hop into your vehicle and tell you to drive and apprehend a suspect. You do not have to run into the face of danger if you feel like your life is in danger and you are scared or you do not want to participate. Know the law, because sometimes it can actually save your life. These officers have vests on. This man doesn't. So again, if the suspect had a firearm and started firing into the vehicle and he got struck, guess what would have happened? Exactly. That's why y'all need to know the law. Y'all be safe out there. And I hope these 2 officers get in better shape so they can chase down suspects, especially the young ones. Until next time. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content.